martial arts, and I'm Trenton McLeod. And let me tell you about why I decided to get into judo, right? After doing jiu-jitsu for so many years, why would you want to go into a whole nother martial art, right? Jiu-jitsu is supposed to be the best martial art when it comes to self-defense. What would be the need for judo? Well, a lot of people don't know that jiu-jitsu actually derived from judo. Judo derived from other martial arts. Most martial arts derive from other martial arts. They take bits and pieces from other martial arts and then they put them together and they make their own martial arts. Very creative and innovative individuals. But I knew that just doing jiu-jitsu that my stand-up game was lacking, right? I knew that wasn't the primary focus. Jiu-jitsu focuses mainly on the groundwork, so I wanted to be good standing up as well too. So I decided to find me a judo school, right? So the first judo school I went to as a white belt, it was awesome. It was a great experience, different culture to the jiu-jitsu school. They were a lot more disciplined in regards to a dress kind of structure. You bow onto the mats, you bow off of the mats, you bow before you start your training, you shake your hands with your opponent. It's very, very, I guess structured is the word I'm looking for, which is good. I don't mind that neither. I had a great time at that facility. They brought me in with open arms. They welcomed me, and I got an opportunity to work on my stand-up game. I got an opportunity to learn many different throws. Also, too, I had a competition coming up at that time, too, and I wanted to incorporate stand-up into my game in order to just be better at the competition side of it, too, right? I realized that you can tend to make people one-dimensional when you have a skill set that they don't have. You can always go back to that skill set to give you an edge in a fight. So I figured, hey, why not try judo? The Grand Master, Helio Gracie, was a judo black belt. So it has to be something in this martial art that people are gravitating to and it's working for them, right? We have a lot of great examples too of judo being used even in MMA. Ronda Rousey, Kayla Harrison, Carl Parisian, Khabib Nurmagomedov, Islam Makhachev. All of them have judo inside of their game, and we can see that it's working on the highest stage in MMA, the UFC, right? So, that's all I needed to see. And I knew that was the right martial art that I should transition to. So I went to a couple of judo camps that was phenomenal. Got an opportunity to meet some judokas, Olympic judokas directly from Japan that train at the Kodokan. For those that don't know who the Kodokan is where the creator of judo school is. His school was called the Kodokan, right? So that's pretty much where all the high-level judokas would go to Japan in order to be able to train is at the Kodokan. So, like I said, I was getting ready for my next jiu-jitsu tournament and I wanted to be a lot more proficient in stand-up. So I met an Olympic judoka that was there and we hit it off. And I asked him, hey, would you offer me private lessons, right? So private lessons are individual lessons that you can have with your instructor or one of the higher level belts or even the lower level belts where they will give you one-on-one time if you pay them for it, right? It's like if you're playing football or basketball and you want to be good, then you will pay for a football coach or an additional basketball coach to work on you specifically and focus on the areas where you're weak at. So I got an opportunity to train with this Olympian, right? His name was Makai. Makai was a Japanese Olympian. He didn't speak any English and we spoke using the translator. And Makai was extremely nice to me. We trained on a weekly basis, one-on-one together for days. Not for days, excuse me. Every weekend we get together to at least do one private. So the first private lesson I had with was strength and conditioning. So me, like I said, a regular guy, but I do like things that require me to be able to learn and gives me the opportunity to be able to grow. He gave me an opportunity to supplement the training that I was already doing at the school he had came to visit, and it was extremely beneficial for me. The first thing that we did was strength and conditioning training, and oh my goodness, it was one of the hardest strength and conditioning trainings I've ever done in my life. Military, I played sports in high school. I was very active, and this was the hardest thing that I've ever done. We started off by balancing on a metal bar. It kind of looked like a metal bar, or you think of like a bamboo stick, and I had to place it in the palm of my feet and just go back and forth on it. And it was extremely painful, right? But he said that it would allow you to be able to strengthen up your hip flexor muscles and strengthen up your knees and your joints. So when someone is trying to throw you, you would have stability throughout your body, because most of us don't have that kind of stability. It's normally trained. You have to build up that stability. So we did that for a while. We did different uchikome drills. Uchikome drills, just going through the movements of the techniques, but we did it with resistance bands, and we did it with weights, and then we did squats, and then we started training. So the first hour was just that. So by the time we got to the training part, I was completely exhausted. I was completely spent. So we started the training because I didn't want to. I don't give up, right? And I don't like to show that, oh, I'm tired when I'm tired, because I understand that he's putting out the same amount of time and energy that I am. So I want to make sure that he knows I appreciate it. So I kept going. And we went over a bunch of different drills, and I'll show you a couple of them in the video. And man, flawless technique. And when we went and did randori, so randori in judo is when you actually do your stand-up sparring, when you can use your skills that you've learned, the techniques that you learned in a live situation with another person that's doing judo with you, or a judoka, right? So we did randori, and oh my gosh, I felt like I was on ice. I felt like I was on ice. I felt him controlling me, moving me around effortlessly. He was even laughing at some of it because he was moving around. So he was having such a good time, and you could see the joy and passion in his eyes as he was doing it. But me, I was being swung around like a rag doll. And I didn't know that someone can move someone like that. And he was explaining to me, hey, you know what? You got to be loose. You got to be relaxed. He showed me how to grip. He showed me how to move. He showed me the techniques, the same techniques that they do with the Kodokan. I was seeing it live. Oh my gosh, my mind was blown. And to have the opportunity to meet such a kind judoka and that wanted to pour into me, man, I felt so fortunate. Not every day you get an opportunity to meet an Olympian, much less get the opportunity to train with an Olympian. And from there, my judo love took over, right? And I've been training judo now for about almost 7 months, and I'm actually about to do my first judo tournament, and I'm gonna post that video and share it with you guys too as well. I want you guys to be a part of this journey with me, and also too, I want to hear from you guys, right? I want to hear what you have to say. If there's any topics that you want to hear, any moves that you may want to see. I do have some move tutorials, that I'll be sharing with you guys as well in the near future. Got a lot of stuff coming for you guys. I know it's been a while since I've seen you. Like, comment, subscribe. Follow us on Instagram. I appreciate the love and support, guys. Let's keep this thing going.